All right, and welcome back to another episode of AHC Garage. You got Jonathan here, VTech Killer. You have Mike Chan behind the camera, giving us all these beautiful shots of the NC1. But this is going to be, I think, our second to last episode, or last. It all depends on how things work out in the end. But we've already done quite a bit. We've covered all of the maintenance on the car, so we've reset that right back to zero. So we can definitely use the car without worrying. We've lowered the car with the Science of Speed lowering cuffs. We've added the downpipes from Science of Speed. We've also installed the charge pipe from, RV6. And we had Brian at Paint Society paint the beak, which took him forever, but at least he got it done. You ever seen that guy torque a wheel? I don't know. Anyways, we still have a few more things left to do. As far as inside the car, I know I've talked about it a little bit. We have some factory accessories, some carbon accessories to go with our carbon roof, the only other carbon option on the car from the factory. So there's some things that we really wanted to touch on there. We're going to show you some of that. We also have some beautiful charge pipes on the top of the motor from Science of Speed, which we had color matched to our brake calipers. Another Paint Society thing. Took him a little time on that as well, but you know, we can't rush perfection. He's an artist. But let's show you what we have here, and we'll get on to it. All right, so the car has a factory carbon package, and that includes 4 different pieces. This car did not come equipped with that option, so we are putting it together in the combo that we like. So that includes the steering wheel, which, as you can see up at the top here, has a dry carbon fiber finish to it, and also the trim that goes in this area here. So we'll be removing the factory steering wheel and putting that on. There's 2 other pieces to that we're not doing. That's going to be an aluminum sport pedal kit and the hutch over top of the gauge cluster. Ours is Alcantara, and this is another part that is an accessory all by itself. And if you've ever seen how NC1 parts come, overpackaged is probably the term to do it. So these are the illuminated door sills, and this is exactly how it comes from the factory. Inside a foam container. Inside, I don't know what they call this type of packing, vacuum sealed, anti-static. And probably sometimes they're inside of another bag, inside of that bag. And these are our carbon fiber illuminated door sills. It says NSX. You can see all the dry carbon fiber trim follows it. So we'll be installing all of this and then doing a alignment. The reason we've held off on the alignment is also because putting the steering wheel on, sometimes that'll throw it. If you can see, these are our charge pipes as well. Freshly painted, nice and dry. And we tried to match these to the brake calipers. And if you look on the car and you look through this back hatch, you can see those black rubber ones. They don't look very nice. And that, with a red pop on there, it's definitely going to give it that look that we're looking for when you look at a pretty cool car like this. So we're going to start on the inside and show you what it's all about. All right, so the door sill is going to go right here. In order to do this, we're going to have to cut out a portion of the carpet. Before we do that, we got to remove the B pillar here, and we have to remove the backing underneath this to gain access to the fuse panel that we have to tap into in order to get lights. This will illuminate when the door opens off the switch right here. So we'll start taking it apart. All right, so once you pull this up, you'll see it's already kind of templated out for you where you have to cut. This section comes out, this section comes out, and you also have to cut the carpet. And you want to cut it pretty clean. The actual door sill will cover most of it, but you don't want to get crazy and have it look like crap. We want this to look beautiful and professional. go. Nothing like cutting extremely expensive carpet on a rare car. All right, so one more to cut, and then we'll get the wiring run and the door sill installed. So now we have to install the sub harness. This is going to go from the fuse box down to where the harness from the door sill will plug in. This comes supplied with its own fuse so that the circuit is protected. So now I don't even know how you guys will be able to see this because it's time to go under the dashboard of an NSX. And that is where Mike is made to go and not me. Apply zip ties. So we plugged it in, and let's see if it's working. And it is. You can see it's illuminating very nicely. It'll look even better at night. So let's get everything tucked in and dialed away, and we'll do the other side. And that one's done. Let's move on to the next one. These are one of these weird clips that if you put any pressure down on it, it just pushes itself in. This one's real simple. Right here underneath this tape is where our tap-in is. I think. I hope so. Yep. Alright. Have the other cell real quick.
The what?
Have the other part, please, Poppy.
Oh, it's a lot of work.
Pretty please. All right, so we got our door sills installed. Now it's on to the steering wheel. First, we have to remove the airbag, and that'll give us access to the mounting bolt and the clips behind it. These are pretty simple. Uses a T30. Little hole behind here. A couple of these, and the steering wheel's right on out. Now inside here we have one clip that goes into the cable reel. Be very careful when we remove this. Do you have a pocket? So we have one plug here that goes to the cable reel. We have to release the clip and pull it out. We want to be very careful with this because we don't want to break the cable reel. There we go. The airbag clip wire will go in behind it. we have to break loose this 10 Allen in the middle here. All right, once we get this out, give the steering wheel a little bang, and they'll pull right on out. Make sure you feed your wire out so it doesn't get caught and damaged. Make sure your cable reel stays in the aligned position. When you take this off, you want to have the wheel as perfectly straight as you can, and you don't want this to move. This has to be centered so many rotations one way, so many rotations the other way, so it doesn't get damaged. Now we'll take the steering wheel to the bench and start swapping over all the new stuff onto the new wheel. This is the old stripped down steering wheel. Now we're going to start transferring stuff over to the new one. Nice, very race car. I don't think it's any lighter than what we took out though. Alright, so here we have the new steering wheel, which is just like the other one, just our carbon insert and new fresh leather. And now we're just going to start putting everything onto here. Much better, huh? Very good looking. Everything's ready. Let's go and put this bad boy back on the car. All right, so it appears we have completed our carbon fiber upgrade. We have our beautiful factory carbon steering wheel with the trim and our illuminated door sills. Now that that's all done, let's go to the back and install the charge pipes, excuse me.
We were given the easy task of color matching the charge pipes to the calipers, and we got a great match. Just using some swatches, we were able to pick one that looked really close. Once we got them into the spray booth, they were already sanded down with a 400 grit, and we're going to apply a sealer coat. Now Juan was able to help us out, and he laid down a nice sealer coat, and this is going to help and protect the red paint so it has a great adhesion to the actual charge pipe. Here's the color all mixed up, and once you lay down a sealer, you can see how well that red covers on the actual charge pipe. We laid down 2 quick coats of red, and once it was all laid down from that point, we gave it a little time to dry. Once it was all dry, then I stepped into the booth and I did the fancy part of making it all shine. We put on a beautiful 2 coats of clear coat, and this clear coat is not only going to protect the charge pipe, but it's going to look amazing inside that engine bay of the NSX. After 2 coats, it was all ready to shine in the Florida sun. And what do you guys think of these color matched charge pipes? I think they look great, and I can't wait to see them installed back into the NSX.
We are ready to install the Science of Speed charge pipes. They come with all new couplers, clamps, and everything you need to install them, including pretty detailed instructions. We had Brian Paint Society paint these up, as you just saw. The video of him painting it may be short, but it took a very long time to do because nothing Brian does gets done quickly, which is good because he's very good at what he does, even if it's a piece of pipe that he's painting. But if you can come over here and take a look, and you can see our color match is pretty close. We wanted to match it to the brake calipers. We didn't want to do a different red. We wanted there to be some kind of cohesion in the color on the car. So these, you're going to see, will go right in these spaces here. So we're going to go ahead and remove the engine covers to give us access to pull the old ones out and install the new ones. Okay, so now I need to get down into the engine bay in order to work on the charge pipe. So that means I'm hopping in here. So this is how it's done. It's not very graceful, but it's a way to do it. All right, so we're going to put these turbo couplers in place. We got to make sure that we put the clamp on before we do that, and that we put the clamp in an orientation that's easy for us to get the ratchet to so that we can tighten it. 2 pretty important things you got to do before you install it. So I think we'll do it one here, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten that one clamp down in the back because we won't need it to move at all. Where it needs to go. I'm trying to hide this one down underneath because we'll see this more than we'll see that one.
John hates my pipe.
Man, Mike, you have got the most beautiful pipe. This thing is refinished nice. It looks like Brian has handled this.
Why is that?
It just seems like something about it reminds me of Brian. All right, so if you can take a look at this, you can see that one side is longer than the other. It's hard to tell, but one side's 3 inches, the other side's 4 inches. The longer side goes towards the throttle body. So I try and get it in to this upper part first, get her down in there. And sometimes what I'll use is my little pipe hook, my snap-on tool here, just to get it up and around this lip. like that. All right, so you saw me just pop in the last one of these clips. They're a plastic clip with a plastic retainer on there, and they kind of break every time you do the oil change because you have to remove this panel. There's a couple other options for it. Science Speed sells a billet aluminum one in black, and that one threads on and threads off, so you don't have to replace them anymore. You only buy them one time. You can see everything looks beautiful. We have the charge pipes installed. We're going to take a look at the alignment after lowering the car and putting the steering wheel on, make sure it's straight away. And then you're going to be really excited for our next episode because we're going to show you our wheel option. And there are some custom made wheels, and we're going to show you start to finish the design and build process of these custom made wheels. So let's definitely check this out. Let's get the alignment done and get this car on the road. So those beautiful charge pipes are installed. It really gives a really nice accent under the glass when you're looking at it. So very happy with those. We are almost ready for our test drive, but before we do that, one of the shortcomings on the NC1 that never really got addressed throughout all the time with it is the audio system. It didn't come with Apple CarPlay, so we picked up this Apple CarPlay wireless adapter here from SyncWire. We just got it off of Amazon. There's a ton of different options when it comes to these things. And I know it gets a little intimidating when it goes to buy it because you don't know if you're going to buy one that doesn't work or it's not going to work with your car. But we're going to give this one a shot and see how it goes. So we'll show you how simple it installs. All right, so it's a pretty simple setup here. It, as you can see there, this is the deal. I don't believe there's even any buttons or anything to this. So you have this here. It comes with a regular USB and a USB-C adapter, depending on what your car has. And I think it's pretty much as easy as plugging it in right here. Ooh, it gives you a nice little light show too. Isn't that nice? So now we're going to go ahead and look at the instructions, fire the car up, which it's already on. And I think we have to go ahead and connect via Bluetooth with our phone. Enable always. I think it might be connected. All right, now this is what we have to, this is the device name. Now we need to go into our Bluetooth. Right there, we hit pair. Yeah, do all that good stuff. And boom. Oh, what's Mike been listening to over here? What do we got there?
We're gonna get a strike on YouTube.
Don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. All right, so you can see here, this is the standard Apple CarPlay setup. You can go through here, go through all your different apps. Waze is a must for stuff like this. Keep those fine state representatives from pulling you over. And also, we can do our audio from our phone as well, so we can watch video of the NSX making turbo sounds while we're in the NSX. So it's a pretty cool setup. It works just like it does on all the newer cars. Totally seamless, works perfectly, and it updates this older audio system to something that's more up to date, and I think it's definitely awesome. So I think it's time to go take this thing for a ride and see what it's all about. Yeah, this thing sounds bad. Let's take it for a ride. Before that, we need a little bit of air in here. So we're driving the car right now. We are in sport mode. The car will cycle between full EV mode and ICE mode, if you will, internal combustion engine. So right now you can hear the exhaust. It's much more muffled because it's running through the factory valved exhaust system. So, and now the valving is closed and it's running through the muffler. Now we'll go ahead and change this knob here in the middle to Sport Plus mode, and it changes all of the, I should say, the way it shifts, shift points. It holds the gear higher. It's not, we should be in 7th gear right now, where it's holding us at 6th, and it opens up the valving in the exhaust, changes the stiffness of the suspension and the assist of the VSA. There's another mode. If you look here, you hold this to the right and you hold it for a period of time, and now we're in track mode. So this brings, as you can see, everything into its most performance orientated mode. It even puts a NSX signal here, or I should say sign here, instead of your radio, because you shouldn't be looking at your radio when you're in track mode, because you came to do some business. But we're not going to be doing too much business on the road, so here, we'll move it right back down into Sport Plus. We're going to take a little squeeze here. Well, I must say, every single time that puts a smile on my face. It gets 0 to very quick, very fast, and you can hear the blow-off valves a little more with the K&N filters. That allows us to hear that more. Throttle response is very crisp with all of the upgraded charge pipes, and the sound of the downpipes just really let you know that this car came to party. And I think it's probably one of the nicest upgrades for this car. And also, the ride is just like it was before we put the lowering cuffs on it, because we haven't changed any of that part of the suspension. We maybe reduced the travel a little bit, but we're not bottoming out, so it really doesn't affect anything with the ride. So you have the factory intended ride where the suspension changes with the modes, and you have the lowness of the look you want. As me and Mike like to say it, you get everything you want with no compromises. And that's exactly what this car is. There's no compromises, no corners are cut, and performance is still peak. And we might just give it a little hit again here. One thing I didn't mention is not only do we get to look at the beautiful carbon fiber now, but it's a brand new steering wheel. And I know me and Mike both really appreciate brand new OEM parts on a car. The car may only have 7,000 miles on it, but it is a 2017. So, you know, there wasn't a lot of wear, but very nice. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. And we have our next video, which I think I'm probably the most excited about because it's out of the ordinary from our regular videos. We're going to bring you to the facility that's making our wheels, custom made, CNC, forged, billet wheels, all those good things. We're going to show you from design to milling to painting, finishing, the entire process, and then mount them on the car, align it. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So that's going to wrap it for this video. We'll see you guys on the next one. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.